Walking a portion of your journey alone is key. Visualize a young child being pushed on a bicycle that has training wheels. And think of the moment the parent releases their hand and the child rides that bicycle for a few feet by themselves. That child has most likely a facial expression of joy, pride, accomplishment, and strength. That's what happens when you learn to do some things on your own. And as an adult, that's at a certain point with a certain ability moving out on your own. At a certain point, that may be exploring different areas outside the 30 or 60 mile radius you grew up. That's breaking up with someone and not being in another relationship immediately to spend some time with yourself. That's not having a pet for a season to learn to be alone. To learn to support yourself, not just to have someone else or something else support you. We all need support. The strongest and the wisest among us would not be here if they didn't get support. We all need community. We all need people. We all need a helping hand when there's a catastrophe. But life, you shouldn't live life like every day is a catastrophe. I've seen people that are disabled that take a road trip by themselves, and they have an extreme amount of joy. But then they go home, they spend most of their time now back in bed, back online, and they never do anything again. An extreme depression. I hear in my mind someone saying, I just can't be by myself. And they end up in a relationship that's totally unhealthy. And no one really wants to hear them complain because there's only so much someone can do. You have to be willing to do some things on your own. You have to be willing to separate from people on your own. You have to be willing to sell your property on your own. You have to be willing to buy a property on your own. You have to be willing to do some things on your own. If a child never learned how to ride a bicycle on their own, if they never got off the training wheels, if a child never got potty training and walked around their entire life with a diaper on, it'd be a dookie disaster. I often shared with you there was one time in my life that I recall that I learned this lesson. I don't know, maybe I was in first grade or something. I was very young, and I'd went to school. And before school, I had to do a number 2 dookie. And I remember asking my mom to help wipe my ass. And, she had 3 kids, and we were rushing to get out, and she didn't get all the dookie. And I remember at the end of the school day, my ass cheeks were burning because there was still some dookie left in my butt, and I was getting a rash. And I can't blame my mother because I was there all day at school. I could have went to the bathroom and wiped myself. But when you don't learn to wipe yourself on your own, you just don't have that muscle, that skill set, that mindset. As an example, if you're not building your career and getting ready to move out on your own while you have the opportunity to live with your parents, you're not developing. It's like the same thing as you're not even using that as a launching pad. You're just letting the dookie sit in your butt waiting for your parents to get home to make your dinner, waiting for them to pay the light bill. Don't be an adult in a relationship, in a dysfunctional relationship, waiting for your parents to die so that now you can have resources to do the next thing in your life. Why? Because even when you get those resources, you've developed a muscle that is determined not to do things on your own. And when you do things on your own, you fail. And then you may need help from others. But overall, in the long run, you will do better. because you will have lived life. If you're living life the right way by doing all you can within your ability, not taking naps, managing your time, 80 years is enough to do whatever you're going to do in this world. And if you live beyond that, that's fine. At the end of the day, you should be exhausted. Not from worrying, but from working on yourself or working or doing whatever you need to do for you. Feel the resistance. I'll tell you, I don't enjoy being suffocated by other people who don't like to be alone. Because it's a suffocating spirit. And I've been there on both sides of that coin. There's nothing more attractive, nothing more freeing than doing what you need to do for you. And when you connect with someone else, it's just cherry on the top. That's the message in this video. I hope it helps. Thank you for watching.